Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ramon Preston Show. I am your host, Ramon Preston, and we bring this show to you to help you properly start, structure, and scale your businesses, your ministries, your income streams, and even your wealth building dreams. And so everything that I share with you on this show, of course, is a representation of who I am as the leader of our organizational enterprise. It is a representation of my life and what I have used to go from hood figure to seven figures. And it's also a representation of all of the divisions and subsidiaries that make up Ramon Preston Enterprises. That is our consulting division, our coaching division, our training division, even our ministry division, everything that we do on a nonprofit level. So wherever you are, whoever you are, whatever it is that you are doing, I want to say Happy New Year to you, and I want to say welcome to the Ramon Preston Show. Now, before I get into today's discussion, there are a few things that I want to cover. First of all, I want to say welcome to all of our new audience. We're going to be streaming live, and we're going to be streaming on new platforms. So whether you're viewing this for the first time or you're listening to this for the first time, our goal is to reach as many people as we possibly can. So if you're viewing this or listening to this on a new platform, whether it's a streaming platform, whether it's some new satellite platform or broadcast that we have gotten access to and have introduced our show to, or if it's a podcast or some audio platform, I want to say thank you so much for joining the Ramon Preston Show. We welcome you into our business and ministry community. And if this is your first time listening or viewing the Ramon Preston Show, here's what I need you to do. I need you to go to RamonPreston.com/free. I want you to go to RamonPreston.com/free. So I'm kind of giving you a few housekeeping opportunities at the beginning. I want you to go to RamonPreston.com/free. And when you go to RamonPreston.com/free, there's going to be a offer for you, absolutely free. It's just on us. It's our way of saying thank you for joining the show. Thank you for watching the show. Thank you for being a part of our business and our ministry community. So here at RamonPreston.com/free, we are offering free starter sessions. And so those starter sessions are made up of some of the most important lessons and topics that we teach and that we live by in our company. These are the same lessons that we teach in our Millionaire Blueprint. These are the same services that we provide through our Millionaire Mentorship program. And so I want to offer that to you absolutely free. RamonPreston.com/free, so that you could get your free starter sessions. So today, ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk to you about the 5 skills to learn for 2022. The 5 skills to learn for 2022. Now, of course, this is a new year, a new season. Everybody has new goals, new resolutions, so many things that they want to accomplish in their personal, in their professional, and in their financial life. But what I have learned, here's what I have learned, especially as a leader in the faith community. What I have learned is we as people of faith, we as believers, we don't really have a problem with revelation, because we have a revelation. If we read the Bible, if we believe the Bible, if we believe in prophecy, if we believe in miracles, signs, and wonders, we have received so much revelation as to what God intends to do for us and what He intends to do through us. For example, Deuteronomy 8:18 is a biblical basis for a lot of the revelation that we live by. It says in Deuteronomy 8:18, for it is God that gives us the power to get wealth, right? God gives us the power to get wealth. Okay. Well, if God gives us the power to get wealth, is that wealth just some mystical, magical, invisible, intangible asset that God gives to us that we don't really see, but we just exist in it? Well, to some extent, that may be true. But that power to get wealth is also complementary to the invisible, intangible, mystical, magical asset, whether you call it anointing or energy or power or whatever God gives you and I internally, intangibly, should be complemented with something externally, with something tangible. And I believe the complementary assets or skills to this revelation of wealth building, to this revelation of biblical economics, to this revelation of financial freedom, I think the tangible and visible complementary asset or skill to that is getting the information, getting the practice so that you can develop what we may call skill sets. Because listen, if all you and I have is revelation about what God finna do, what God say he gonna do, if all we do is have revelation about you and I, we're the head and not the tail, we're above and not beneath, we're lenders and not borrowers, well, all of that revelation is true. And the fact that we believe that revelation and have a conviction of that revelation, it doesn't necessitate you and I having success. But what necessitates you and I having success is that we take the revelation that God has given us for biblical wealth, the revelation that God has given to us for financial freedom, the revelation that God has given to us for success, to do what he intends for us to do on this planet. And we complement it with information and with practice. And so the more information you get about certain things that relate to your success, that relate to biblical wealth building, that relate to financial freedom, the more information you get, the more you're able to put that information to practice. And so it begins with revelation, but then the revelation needs to be complemented with information, and then that information really needs to be completed with practice. Which, by the way, if I'm talking too fast or you just feel like everything that I'm saying is kind of like, mumbo jumbo and you can't really keep up with it, no worries. You know why? Because RamonPreston.com/free, I provide some free starter sessions in here to help you wrap your mind around what I'm referring to. And if you have completed the free sessions and you still feel that there's more information that you need to learn to complement your revelation, and you want to develop the skill sets that we're going to be talking about today, guess what? We have a Millionaire Blueprint. It is a paid version of this free starter version that we're giving you. And there are hundreds of training courses on starting and structuring holding companies, hundreds of training courses on financial literacy, creative tax strategies, real estate investing, goal setting, scheduling, sales, marketing, everything that you need to actually succeed. So we'll get back to that in just a few moments. But today, let's talk about the 5 skills to learn for 2022. So you want to crush it in 2022. You want to get the bag in 2022, and you really believe that you got big things popping and little things stopping for 2022, and you want to see biblical wealth building. You want to see success. You want to experience financial freedom so that you can do what God has intended for you to do. There are 5 skills to learn. I want to give you these 5, and then we're going to take a few minutes to get into each of the 5, okay? Number 1. The first skill set is marketing. This is a skill set. This is not just some service that you want somebody to provide for you. Marketing should become a skill set to you. So whether you are a business owner, whether you are a church or ministry leader, whether you are an individual who works a W-2 job but who has the desire and the dreams to create wealth for you and your family, or financial freedom for you and your family, you still need to understand the concept of marketing, and you have to develop this concept in your life as if it's a skill set. So when I say marketing, what exactly am I talking about? I'm talking about branding. I'm talking about storytelling. These are the things that I'm referring to. I'm talking about attention, and I'm talking about promotion. So when I say you need to develop the skill set of marketing, I'm talking about if you really want to win in 2022, that means you've got to get good at branding yourself. You have to see yourself as a brand. You've got to see your business as a brand. Truth is, you need to see your nonprofit as a brand. Anything that is connected to you that you intend to introduce to the marketplace, right? That's the root word for marketing. Anything that you intend to introduce. If you want to introduce yourself to a new company as an employee, you want to introduce yourself to a new department, right? To get a promotion or to move up the corporate ladder. You want to introduce yourself to a certain group of people because you believe that they could be perfect clients and customers to you. Well, in order to introduce yourself to the market, you need to operate in marketing. And in order to operate in marketing, guess what? You have to develop the skill set for marketing. And it begins by you understanding that there's branding that has to be done. There's branding that has to be developed. There's branding that has to be built. Think about branding. When animals are branded, something is seared on them. Something is put on them. There's some heat, there's some pressure that's added to the skin or the outside layer of that animal. Well, that's how you have to position yourself in the market. One of the things that I tell all of my clients when I talk with them, whether it's through our coaching program, our consulting program, or the all new Millionaire Mentorship program, which is an accelerated version, no pun intended, right? An accelerated version of our business coaching and consulting. I always tell my clients that when you start your business or when you position yourself in the market to introduce new products and services, you need to do it from the marketing perspective of building a brand. You should do it that way. And depending on how far you want to go, how big you want to be, how much of an impact you want to make, that's going to determine how powerful your marketing is with respect to your branding. And so your skill set for marketing has to be built around branding. You've got to learn more about branding. You've got to understand the power of branding, okay? And also storytelling. A lot of my clients I talk to, they don't even understand how powerful their stories are until I talk to them and they start telling me their story. You know, it's just from a simple question. Tell me a little bit about yourself. Well, I've been through this, I've been through that, I came from this and I came from that. And I'm thinking, yeah, but none of this is on your social media page. You share none of this in your bio. None of this is in your presentations. When you talk about your products and services, you never mention your story. You need to tell your story. Storytelling is a part of your marketing. Storytelling is a big part of your business. Here's the truth. Most people don't even care about what you have as much as they care about who you are because of the story that you told. All right? So a lot of times I tell my story about how I came from nothing, and one of my taglines or slogans is, I went from hood figure to seven figures. Well, that's very intentional, because as a part of my marketing or branding, I want to tell my story. I want people to know that I was born in the late 70s. My grandmother, who was a Jewish woman, raised me as a biracial child. My mama was white, my daddy was black, both of them were crack addicts. I was addicted to drugs myself. By the time I was 12 years old, I was out there selling dope, running the streets, getting high. My whole teenage life was centered around going in and out of jail and just living a life as a street thug and a hustler. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. And I lived that way up until almost 21 years old, which was somewhere around 24 years ago to this day, 24 years ago, 1997, when I had this supernatural experience in a trap house. I got saved, I got converted, I became a Christian, soon after started preaching and teaching and realized that I had a call for ministry. And once I started preaching and teaching and moving into my calling as a prophet in ministry, I realized that I didn't have any money. and it led me back into entrepreneurship. But what am I doing? I'm telling my story. I want people to know my story. I want people to know what my wife and I have been able to do since we've been married for the last 18 years. I want people to know how I've been through my ups and downs. You know why? Because my storytelling is a part of my brand. My brand and storytelling is a part of my marketing. Do you understand what I'm saying? Okay, the third aspect of or component of marketing is attention. You got to be willing to get attention. You got to be willing to show up. You might not be a camera person, but guess what? You might need to get in front of that phone. You have platforms like Clubhouse. You have platforms like podcasts. You may be good at writing, so maybe you don't do a vlog with a video, but you do a blog with writing. But somehow, some way, if you're going to develop the skill set of marketing for 2022 because you want to win, because you want to succeed, because you want to make a greater impact, you got to get good at branding, got to get good at storytelling, got to get good at getting attention. And sometimes all attention is not good attention, but then again, attention is attention. And you've got to figure out the best ways to get attention, of course, without being ratchet and trifling and scummy. You don't want to be a scumbag. You want to be a person of integrity, but you also want to make sure that you're getting attention. And the fourth component of marketing is promotion. You want to promote yourself. See, one of the reasons why I promote Ramon Preston the way I do is because Ramon Preston, watch this, is a brand. Ramon Preston is a brand. And so one of the reasons why I promote Ramon Preston, because this brand is not personal. Even though it is personal, it ain't personal. So I don't take it personal when people feel like, oh, you just being arrogant and egotistical and you're being extra and you're narcissistic, you're selfish and you're just all about you. Well, that's what they think because they don't understand. I am developing a skill set called marketing because I know if I'm going to succeed, if I'm going to make an impact, if I'm going to continue to grow my business and build wealth and create freedom for me and for my family, guess what I have to do? I have to market, I have to brand, I have to tell my story, I have to get attention, and I have to promote. So that is the first. That is the first thing. Number two. The second skill to learn is sales. You gotta get good at sales. Listen, I want all of you to take some time to get better at sales. And I'm not just talking about being able to finesse and talk your way through a situation just because you came from the gutter. That doesn't necessarily mean you have the skill of sales. These are skills, okay, that you need to develop and get very, very good at. So when I say sales, here's what I mean. I mean, get good at service. Get good at providing a service for people, right? It may be the service of your time. It may be the service of your talents. It may be the service of certain things that you provide through your business or through your role at your job, but get good at that. Get good at closing, meaning that you got to get good at making conversions. Get good at deal making. Get good at deal making. Now, what do you mean by getting good at service? Let's go through it real quick. Service. I need to be good or become as best as I can at providing a service. So anytime I'm talking to somebody, I'm trying to figure out how can I be of service to that person. When people randomly reach out to us like they do on a regular basis here from certain platforms that they see us on, from the show, from information, from ads, or from events, wherever they see me from, and they reach out to me, even if they're just asking random questions and they're not necessarily looking to purchase something, or they may just be inquiring to get more information, I'm immediately going into sales mode, or in other words, service mode. I want to provide a service for them. So that service could be information. That service could be another phone number that they need to call someone to get what they need. That service could just be the clarity that they need about a question that they had. And these may not necessarily be clients or customers. So you want to be able to get good at providing a service, but you also want to get good at closing. And if you're going to get good at closing, you need to have a sales process. There needs to be something tactical, a technique, a mechanic that you can use as a tool to walk people through a process. So for example, if somebody reaches out to you today and asks you about your product or your service, or asks you about your skill set, something that you're talented or good at, do you know how to walk them through the sales process to bring them through a close? If you don't, it means you have to develop that skill. And even if you do, you still need to work on that skill. And then last but not least, the third component of sales is deal making. Number 3, I'm giving you the game today for free. This is the new year, free 99 game that I want to give you, because I want you to win, I want you to succeed, I want you to build wealth, I want you to have financial freedom in 2022. Number 3, communication. This is a skill set. This is a skill set that you need to learn. Communication. When I say communication, here's the components that I'm referring to. I'm referring to speaking. I'm referring to presenting. And I'm referring to relationships. Okay? So communication, this is a skill set. You got to develop the skill set of communication. You got to develop the skill set to speak. All right? You can't be shy. You can't be timid. You got to break past that. If you're afraid, if you're nervous, it's normal. Everybody gets a little fearful when it comes time to them, for them to speak in front of people or to give a presentation. But you got to get good at speaking, because how are you going to tell your story if you're afraid to speak? How are you going to be able to share with people what you're doing if you're afraid to communicate? These are skills that you have to have, okay? I remember watching this video interview of a multi-billionaire who was already rich, already a billionaire, has a multi-billion-dollar company, but he wanted to scale his company to tens of billions. And he knew that they had the potential, that they had the proprietary systems and processes and the capabilities. And he was consulting some people on why he was not able to get into certain doors. And the people told this multi-billionaire, the fact that you're a billionaire, but you're not a multi-billionaire is solely because of your lack of communication. You're not showing up, you're not speaking, you're not giving public presentations, we don't see you, there are no relationships. And he was somewhat of an introvert. But because he was not getting good at this, he was leaving billions of dollars on the table, even though he was a billionaire. So if a billionaire had to understand that communication, speaking, presenting, and building relationships by communicating and speaking and presenting was critical to the success of his business, how much more will it be for you? That's number 3. Number 4, let's go. The 4th skill to learn is leadership. Leadership. Another word for leadership, I want you to catch this, is fellowship. 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 Okay, these are other components. People. So leadership requires you to learn to follow. So a lot of people will gauge or judge your leadership based on who you follow. So you've got to be careful who you follow and be mindful of who you're following. Because if I meet you because I'm a leader and I'm a follower, all right, and I understand this concept, one of the first things I'm going to do, even if I don't ask you, is I'm going to do some homework on you to see who are you following? Like, who are you getting some of your information from? And you can't just give me some lame excuse, oh, I just follow God. Yeah, we all follow God to some extent, but who humanly are you following? So leadership is about fellowship. You have to be a good follower. The best leaders I have ever met are leaders who are extraordinary followers. They know how to serve, they know how to submit, they are humble, they're always available, they're reliable to other people that are not under them or beside them, but people who are over them. So leadership is very important for you, and that's going to show up in your fellowship. All right, leadership is also a form of fellowship. And number 5, the 5th skill to learn for 2022 is business. You got to learn business. And I'm not just talking about learning how to start an LLC. I'm not just talking about getting a 501c3. I'm talking about you have to learn ownership. You have to learn the power of ownership. You have to learn the power of control. And this is a good control. You have to learn the power of contracts and terms. And you have to learn the power of finances. This is all business. So when I say you need to develop the skill set for business, being able to own and control a business and utilize the assets of contracts and terms in your business and stay on top of the financial activities of your finances, this is a skill set. This is a skill set. Now, if you are watching this or listening to this show today, whether it's your first time viewing or listening, or you've been a faithful follower of the Ramon Preston Show, here's what I want you to understand. These skill sets work in any industry. Whether you're in tech, whether you're in crypto, whether you are in real estate, whether you are in apparel, whether you are in transportation, logistics, whatever it is that you're in, these 5 skills that you need to learn for 2022, truth is for any year of your life or tenure as a business professional, these skill sets work, because the more you develop these skill sets, the better you're going to become as an employee, as a CEO, as a person, as a professional in a certain industry or field. But you have to develop these skill sets. Now, how do you develop it? Well, you have to get access to the right information. This is one of the reasons why I launched the Millionaire Mentorship Program. This is a 1-year accelerated business coaching and consulting program. It includes our Millionaire Blueprint. So our Millionaire Blueprint is our online business and financial wealth building system. And so we've added hundreds and hundreds of lessons, training programs, courses, documents, forms, and all the material that's needed. We've added it all into this Millionaire Blueprint to give you the blueprint for how you go from maybe a W-2 employee to a successful business owner. If you're interested, of course, you can find all of this information at RamonPreston.com about our Millionaire Mentorship Program, our Blueprint, our certification program, our licensing program. But more importantly, you can just text the word millionaire to 404-478-7213, and we can get you onboarded today, get you started on our Millionaire Blueprint, get you scheduled for your first initial coaching and consulting session so we can set you on the path to financial freedom. Listen, I love y'all. Thank you again for all of you that are new subscribers, new viewers, new listeners. We're so excited to continue to expand to different podcast platforms, to different satellite platforms, to different online platforms and in-person platforms to share this information with you. Happy New Year again. I love you. I'm praying for you. I'll see you next time right here on the Ramon Preston Show.